Hey guys, so in this tutorial we'll go through some of the ways that you can use 3D scans as your products. This is quite an exciting field nowadays because it's quite easy to create 3D scans of your products. You just point your phone into the product, go around it, scan it, save it, then machine learning, or nowadays you can call it AI, I guess, will produce a 3D model that you can also upload to Shopify file system. We will copy the link, use it in bit-by-bit script, and then use that script in your product via 3D Bits app. So this is quite a journey that we will take. It involves quite a few steps, but I will be hopefully gentle in the introduction to this concept. I will walk you through all of these points where you may need to edit your 3D product scan, where you need to maybe upload it, use it in the script, etc. So you may remember from last time that we have created an empty product. It just contains this 3D text, and today we will replace that model with the real product from the real world. And it will be my MTB bike. I love biking. I'm not a professional, but I do enjoy it a lot. And yeah, we will use that model as a product to showcase the possibilities of both bit-by-bit and 3D Bits app. So let's get started. And I mentioned that you can use your mobile phone to create those 3D scans, and there are many apps available. I guess one of the most popular one is Luma AI, or this Polycam app. Both of them are available on the app stores, I think, for Android and iOS. And yeah, you can use them to create, as you see here, scans of people, plants, trees. You can also visit bit-by-bit projects page and see some of the examples here that I have prepared. These just use me as an example, the plant, the palm tree next to the cat table. And some of these you will also notice in our demo store presented as products. So I'm not going to explain how to use the apps themselves or how to create those 3D scans. Depending on the app, the creation process will be different. And I'm really not paid by any of these companies, so I'm not gonna go into detail of any of these solutions. But at the end of the scan, you can export that to a PLI file or a splat file and import that into this super splat editor from Play Canvas. And why do you need editor? Well, for 3D scans, usually you do want to remove quite a lot of noise from them. The files are really big, and for your product, you really want to squeeze it down so that the file size is not too big. For example, on Shopify file system, I think you can upload up to 20 megabytes. And if you want to go beyond that, you will have to find the different hosting solution for your files. So bit-by-bit dev, for example, offers a few plans where in gold plan, you, for example, can get up to 100 megabytes of hosting. But yeah, this really depends on you. Maybe you will have your own hosting solution for these splat files or products. And yeah, I hope this video will explain to you a bit better how that works. So first things first, I will now open my scan in this Play Canvas editor. It's open source editor, it's free, so you can use it, and I really cannot recommend it enough. It's really nice. It's developed by people who know web, and bit-by-bit is also a web tool, so I really enjoy seeing these kinds of tools appearing. And so let's open my scan without further ado, and let's use this GS bike PLI. This is an original file. You see that I already saved one splat file that is 11 megs, and this is sort of a range of downsizing that we're looking for. So I'm gonna open the originally scanned model. You see that we have this huge sphere, and I'm going to zoom in into this scan, and here is my bike. So if I make those points a bit smaller, you see that it's here. But you also notice that there's quite a lot of noise around here, right? So it's quite okay to have that sphere if you're interested into having this sort of bounding sphere environment around your model. But in this case, we really don't need it. And a lot of noise can be just removed very easily. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to select some points here. I will remove them. I'll do this here as well. I remember that my bike was really small in there. Then I'm going to change the perspective a little from the top view, and I'll go and select more points with this rectangle tool, and also hit delete, delete, delete. So now we will use this frame selection button to refocus our camera to the point cloud that we're going to edit further. And I'm just going to go and remove even more points because I know that they are really not necessary for me. And let's see if we did not delete too much. Let's refocus. Yeah, there is a bit of a danger, you know, to deleting part of a bike, but yeah, okay, no, it's not deleted, so that's fine. Let's find the good angle for further removals, and let's hit delete again. Oh yeah, the camera. So let's hit delete again on that, zoom in, and yeah, depending on the resolution that you may look at it, might be a bit hard to see. But if you just make those points smaller, you will see that the closer to the bike we get, the grass looks better. So let's keep only the good grass, and let's get rid of all the grass that is looking a bit off, you know. So basically AI did not have enough data probably to yeah, make a good look out of this grass. And let's do this. Let's clean it up. You see that doesn't matter how I view that, the splats, I can pick them and remove them. So a splat is a sort of an ellipse. You can visualize it by using this rings mode and making it larger. So this is how 3D scans of Gaussian splatting work. They create this sort of field of blurred ellipses that represents a 3D object, and this gives this hyper realism to it. What I usually do as well is I remove the biggest ellipses because they can cause some sort of glows if you use dark background, for example, or well, high contrast background to these splats basically. So let's remove them a little, and I'm not gonna play too much with it. The idea is to just have this model prepared. And another thing that I'll do is I'm going to move this model upward so that it's sitting on this grid, better positioned on the zero basically. Okay, so I'm done with the editing and I'm pretty happy with the result. My bike looks great, and now I'm going to export it. You will have to export to the splat file because compressed PLI doesn't work with bit by bit too well. And the save, if you do that, you will also get a PLI file that is uncompressed and weighs just too much. So let's use the splat file. So I'll just call it gsbike2.splat, and yeah, it will go here next to gsbike.splat. Okay, now we have our bike. We have prepared the model. And another thing that we will do is quite simple actually. We will use the content section of Shopify, and we will upload a file that we've just made. Yeah, it's here, and now we can copy the link of this file. Let's go into the apps of Bit by Bit. Let's pick Read, because that's, I think, the easiest to use for us in this case. And here we will just go to this section of Babylon, and that's the game engine that drives all the rendering. And here we have this Gaussian Splatting command, and I'll just create it like this. So let's make this appear on our screen. So I copy pasted this link from Shopify, and it just created this model for me. So it picked up the file from Shopify, and it renders it now on the screen. So one thing is needed to prepare this script for export to 3D-Bits app, and that's the runner that needs to set the result value of meshes. And we will also go into this lists category, and we'll create a list. So this is a default way how 3D-Bits app works. Basically, it sort of needs to output all of the meshes because it needs to clean the meshes after you change some inputs. In this case, we will not have inputs. Actually, we will not update this model in any way. There's no logic behind it, but we still need to get this result in 3D-Bits app so that we can sort of clean it up correctly if needed. So let's do the export now. So export to runner. Let's copy this code. Let's go to our product that we have here. And now we go down and we'll just paste our inline script here. So I did not do anything magic, but we will also need to change this camera to 0, 0, 0, and then 3, 1, and 3, just because our model is quite a bit smaller than that text that we had before. So let's do this, and now we can go into the preview, and voila, our bike is loaded in here. And you see that it's now part of the product, and we can begin selling it. So this is quite nice, right? With just a few steps, we went from a huge, noisy product scan into something that looks quite nice. There's no fancy CAD stuff involved, no difficult logic. You just can now scan your 3D product and upload that to Shopify and then sell it. So that's, I think, quite a nice thing. Another thing is that you can change around some of the properties here. So I've noticed that the bike was not really in the center of the camera when I loaded the product. So you can play around with these targets and perspectives that you generate. And another thing is that you can change those colors for the background. So our script doesn't have any colors for the background. It doesn't use any skybox. And due to that, you can play around with this background color. And let's hit save. And now let's refresh the preview. And you see that now we have this sort of popping canvas where you can visualize the product. And now it's all in this bicolor background. That is quite nice, huh? And the grass looks great, you can see that the bike turned out really okay. Okay, so this is it for the demo. You saw that we didn't need to use any subscription of Bit by Bit to create this script. You don't have to subscribe to Bit by Bit. It's sort of, you can see that as an additional way to interact with your scripts. Like if you need more cloud storage, for example, if your files are just too big for Shopify to handle, you can choose Bit by Bit as a hosting provider for your files. But yeah, just check out our pricing on Bit by Bit. It's separate from 3D-Bits app, which you purchased. But yeah, we do have this access to all the tooling, and you can tap into it for free. So don't think that you need 3D Bits app and Bit by Bit Dev subscription. It's not necessary, but yeah, if you want, if you want to save all those scripts somewhere nicely, if you want to manage all the assets in one place, well, then yes, then Bit by Bit Dev is a good way to go, and you can then check, to see our pricing. You get more stuff from the platform as well. So yeah, check it out if you want to. But for this Shopify demo for 3D Bits app, this is it. It's enough to do the scripting by just going here, clicking on the apps and choosing the editor that is available to you. Okay, so that's it for this time. I hope to see you in the next videos. Cheers.